Okay, I want to talk a little about trains in the UK. If you're somebody who's used buses and trains quite a bit, and then there's, for whatever reason, that there might have been something in your life, you just suddenly didn't use them for a while, and then you got back to them, you may see some bells and whistles that you think, oh, this is improved, this is good. Also, some things at train stations you might need to know. It's like within the UK, 12 weeks prior to your departure going using the trains, you usually get the cheaper tickets. But you also, before then, you can sometimes get a cheaper ticket talking to any staff at a train station who publish the tickets for you. Also, a lot of stations still use like a paper ticket. If you're if some people are still, even today, I know it surprises some people, but there's people from all generations and all walks of life, and it's not so much a generation thing, other than opportunities to learn as technology speeds ahead. Yeah, it's not as black and white as generation. Generation is partially something to do with it. It's definitely a figure in people still, even today, don't barely can even begin to grasp a smartphone. So they have some very basic phones that don't, and really some of them are no good even to hold a QR code or an image or a picture. And this can be mitigated, or you can share your QR code ticket to another person instead of it being published and then download it to your phone, because there's no Wi-Fi. You can Bluetooth it over. So I use QR codes for the trains. Now, it's much easier rather than faffing about with a piece of paper that you might lose, right? And you've got this bulk in your pocket, a computer. And after all, they are computers, smartphones. And guess what? It's a it's a torch. You got internet on it. There's a camera. Guess what? It can even phone people with it. Yeah, duh. Uh, this is crazy with all the different things. But a lot of people just want that. They just want text and phone calls, nothing else. Not a lot, but some people. I'm going to bring in a website called trainline.com, which you can access for the UK train services. If I make some adjustments here, I want to point something out to you. I'll show you firsthand where this bracket is of 12-week brackets, because I was informed that there was cheaper tickets on their way, and they have come through. Also, there's this 12-week bracket where nearly every ticket you order is going to be cheaper relative to being outside of that bracket. So it's 12 weeks prior to your departure. And what I want is, because I'm going to southwest England, um, southwest England is a lovely part of the country where I like to visit every year. And the last 4 years I've been based in Westward Ho, the only place name in the country with an exclamation mark after its name. Also off the coast, it's coastal area. I want to check out some ancient preserves forest. I think I made a short video on some of that. Yeah, I showed some pictures on some of that, and I'll see what I can do to investigate that. So let me try drag a image in the screen capture. I'll zoom in so you can see the text a bit better, the bulkiness. I was heavily zoomed in on the website. In case it got a bit pixelated, I click continue. Let's go back and take that off. Train tickets, train. So in the UK, where I'm situated, if I went to Hereford City, it would have to go down through Newport, city on the train to where I want to end up as, and then I want to go to a place called Barnstable. So if I went to a Welsh town, Abergavenny, it would be the same. I go through Newport, so I'm going from my town to Newport direct on a bus anyway. Takes about an hour for me, maybe just over, to get there. So we go from Newport City to Barnstable City using the trains. That's the plan anyway. But these days, they will help out with bus replacements if a train station doesn't have a train going that day. They give you bus replacements to another train station where the trains will be going from along your journey. It won't, obviously, for me, there's no direct way to get to southwest England from southeast Wales on train services. There will be at least one changeover, at the least, and two changeovers. And in some cases, you can get three changeovers depending time of day and different things. Maybe issues at train stations for maintenance. And Severn Tunnel Junction is a junction where you do go through a tunnel. Last year, it was under maintenance, so coming back, I had to come back a bit earlier and had to do a bit of a detour. So a couple of days early because of that nuance. And why not just a day early before they start the maintenance? Well, the thing is, the bus times for my own town are very dire. For my own immediate area, like going to and from some very closer areas, they're not like 24/7 like some of the cities around, which meant, weekends, Sundays, I had to skip coming back on the Monday, skip coming back on the Sunday. I came back. It was either the Saturday or Friday, so I missed a few days off my holiday. So I recommend some very good planning before you go. And I knew that was going to be a maintenance thing, but I didn't necessarily realize how bad it was going to affect my coming back around, because I didn't equate, oh yeah, the buses coming back. Where I'm staying, 24/7, every 25 minutes, almost 24/7, but there's some gaps here and there. Every 25 minutes, I can get a bus to anywhere nearby. And once I'm there, I can, if there isn't one back, I can hop on a different one to another nearby place where there's one back. And it's pretty good. So if I click off, that's we just split save. I don't know why it's not letting me come off that. Oh, okay. Okay, got it. So zoomed in. Hopefully you can see this better, because zooming out, OBS kind of misses some pixels in text. I should be able to set it to do things a bit clearer. I'm just being lazy at the moment, not changing things. So the 29th of, let's get the calendar, let's zoom back out a tiny bit, that's 200%. I think that should be okay relatively doing there. So I'm going out on the 29th of May. But you see some of these yellow tickets, that's the cheaper ones relative to others, regardless of a 12-week departure time. Some of them are, some of them aren't. So go outside the 12 weeks, because within 12 weeks, it's something like, what is it? 12 weeks time, it might be 21st or the 23rd of May, roughly. But outside of that 12 weeks is when I'm going at the moment. So you see what happens when I click this. This is handy to know and showing you firsthand what happens with these tickets if you're in the UK wanting to go from. If you want to go from Newport, the same trip I'm doing, this might help as well. But you see it says two changeovers. And also, if I go from my hometown to Newport City, and once I'm there, I don't go from their train station on a train. I get on a bus to another train station. They have bus replacements that are subsidised and paid for by the train station. Um, so I go to Bristol Parkway on the bus and wait 23 minutes transfer time, enough time to walk to the right, plenty of time, more than enough time to walk to the right platform to get from Bristol to Exeter St David's. That's a beautiful station, by the way. It's so well signposted, you can't go wrong. With the toilets, waiting rooms, a little shop, and everything else, lifts, where the platforms are, you cannot go wrong. Unless you're very partially sighted, I know. Oh, like a few issues. But go from there, get on that at 12, 19 past 12 midday, and end up in Barnstable. Once I'm in Barnstable, it's about an hour from Barnstable to Westward Ho. And getting to Westward Ho is about an hour. So it's about they got 4 hours. Where is it? Wait, 10:15. 9:15. Sorry. Roughly 4 hours and 19 minutes. So there's 6 hours travel because an hour traveling to Newport, then an hour getting from my destination to where I'm staying. This is a lot of travel. It sounds tedious to some people who don't like to travel much, but it's actually quite easy because it's trains and they're smooth. What I don't like is narrow country lanes with bumpy roads, potholes. But once I'm in North Devon, Barnstable area and surrounding areas are pretty good roads actually, and the buses aren't too bad either. Here though, where I am situated, you get motion sickness, or the buses just are rickety, or when the driver brakes, it seems like a infinite brake and never stops. The bus never stops leaning forward, and it's still move while it's moving forward, despite the brakes still being pressed. God, that's annoying. It's like I don't have a low center of gravity. I'm fairly tall, even when I sat down. So driver brakes, and I'm leaning forward for trying to push myself back up, and he's still braking. I'm still leaning forward as I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to stop, because especially in the middle of a texting somebody, it's like, gonna hurry up, and it finally stops, and off we go now with a jolt. And it's just rickety, bouncing all over the place, particularly if you end up on a double decker and you're upstairs. Yeah. Despite the fact, I wouldn't be without some of the bus transport. It just needs to be improved. The roads need improving. The technology of the buses need improving in some areas. Other areas, they got it. They got it down to a T. Smooth ride and everything. Better roads than my immediate area. So that's 2 changeovers. Having to get to Newport, then get on the bus to Bristol Parkway, get from Bristol Parkway to St David's. It's like, I'd rather just one changeover, really. It's not possible to get just no changeovers. If I go within the 12-week period, let's choose the 14th. I'm not going then, I'm going on the 29th, but for argument's sake, I'll show you what happens. So this is in case you're looking for tickets and you're seeing all these changeovers, this and that, and you've done the ticket before and it's been an easier route, but you're not seeing it. Sometimes the cheaper routes and easier ones will come in via that 12-week period. More to do with the price rather than it being easier. Other than the changeover, I guess, would make it less changeovers would make it easier. So again, 9:15. That's when I want to go from there because the bus will get there with plenty of time to spare before I get the 9:15. And I go check that. There's no bus replacement. It is a train from my OCD, whatever you want to call it, is I'm at a train station. So I go and use a train from a train station, not a bus from a train station to a train station for a train. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. This route doesn't even stop at Bristol Parkway. Anyway, it goes through Severn Tunnel Junction, Patchway, Bristol Temple Meads, which isn't too far from Bristol Parkway. And it just carry on doing all these, and then the changeover with a nice healthy 47 minutes changeover. I can chill out, maybe get a bite to eat, or perhaps get some food on a train. I'll take a bottle of water with me anyway. I always take a flask with me to stay hydrated. And once I've changed over, I get off at Barnstaple, and I can get my bus from Barnstaple to Westward Ho, where I'm staying. That's where I'm based. Umberley, a lovely, cute village with a nice public bar. It's kind of like villages I knew when I was growing up, and they're few and far between these days. It's more like a housing estate villages are now these days. But this has its school, it has public bar, it has a place where it's full of antiques you can look at. There's kind of an old army equipment thing that you can look around at. There's a garden centre situated there where you can buy lawnmowers, equipment, plants for your garden, topsoil, all this kind of grow bags, that kind of proper rural country public bar, and home cooked food, rustic, old world public bar. You go in and there's old stone fireplace, big thick stone walls, old building, and from the reviews, there's rooms you can book as well, and you could walk from Barnstaple into there. Takes quarter an hour apparently, and there is actually a train. Believe it or not, despite it being so short, it takes 8 minutes on the train. Don't bother sitting down. I wouldn't imagine. By the time you sat down, it's time to get back up anyway. Yeah, shortest train trip I have ever used is like 25 minutes. And that's from, in the UK, you go Hereford to Abergavenny or vice versa, about 25 minutes. So you going just over the border from South East Wales to England, or you can come back the other way. 25 minutes. And I thought that was short. But that, I mean, that's convenient if it's pouring down with rain, you take the train instead of walking and getting wet. So there's that, and prices and how you can do this through the internet. We'll look into that in a bit. See, the right hand column is first class. The first column is standard class. There are bells and whistles that are extra. But this is like socialized. When you choose first class, you're helping pay a bit for somebody else's first class, which is why you don't, once you got first class, any food that you order actually on the train, this food supplied on the train, is free of charge. Because you paid a little bit and somebody else's first class has paid a little bit over time. Not during that day, but it pays. This is why the service is available, right? So I don't fancy paying 102 first class before I even got any bells and whistles anyway. What date was this? 14th of May. For argument's sake, let's say I was going on 14th of May, not the 29th of May. And I was choosing, was it this one? Yeah. would choose first class. I do fancy first class going down. I don't. I really don't like a lot of fussing, but sometimes I like being looked after, which is very different to fussing. If I've got people coming up to me and going, "Oh, would you like this? Would you like that?" No, leave me alone. For me, it feels more like harassment when people fuss over me than it is being looked after. Even if I go in a cafe, I'm notorious for it. It's like, um, order a sandwich in a pack. Oh, do you want a plate for? No. What do I want a plate for? I just, I don't put it that way because they're just doing their job. And no, that's fine, thanks. They give you a tray anyway. If you got a sandwich and a coffee on a tray, you take it. I don't want a plate and a glass. Ordering water, a bottle of water. Do you want a glass with that? No, it's already in a container. What the fuck do I want a glass for? I'm like that. I really don't like fussing at all. I'm very low maintenance like that. At the same time, I do like being looked after with things that I've ordered for them to be utilised in that way in which I looked after anyway. Coming back, I'll rough it. I don't mind roughing it anyway. So that's just one change. If I was to click continue, so we got standard class. It was 27.50. Now we scroll this across. So you get 28.89 because there's a processing fee, just order fee as well. Split save this is self-explanatory, but we go through it anyway. Valid on Great Western Railway services and required connecting Great Western Railway services from Newport to Wirral, and it goes through Wirral anyway. If we go back, let's go back. Split save is valid on these different tickets from different stations. We go back to that. Where was it? 20. Let's go back to 14th. Again, I won't be going on 14th. I'll be going on 29th. But if I wait another week, the 29th date will probably have the one changeover anyway. So Newport, there's Wirral, well, however you pronounce it there. I've never been around the place. Yeah, I've been to Bridgewater. I've walked around Bridgewater before. Taunton as well. And Tiverton. Not just the stations, I've been through those towns. Not here, not really here. People rant and rave about Weston-super-Mare. I couldn't care less. It's just consumerism and entertainment. Go look it up, and it's just like get them addicted to the consumerism and entertainment. But that's it. And it's for families who got kids or things that you can do there. Really, Weston-super-Mare. So yeah, it goes through Wirral on that. And the idea is you got this ticket and you don't have to get off the train to go from Wirral to the rest of these. You stay on the train, and if you're asked for the QR code of your ticket and get scanned again, fine, you just stay sat on the train. This is why it's called split save. It's splitting the trains effectively, while for the price of one. It's two tickets in one, basically. Hope that's clear. Let's go back to... So what I'm going to do is look what's happening. I'm within the 12-week period. If we go just outside of it, because it's probably 23rd or 24th in 12 weeks' time now. So if I wait till this Friday coming, this ticket will probably give me the one changeover. But at the moment, it gives me this. Two changes, two change, two change, two change. They're all two changeovers. Not one of them is giving me. So yeah, I want to see what happens if I go. Oh, it's that one in it. 28th. 28th. I think it would be 23rd or 24th. Could Google it. So what date is it in 12 weeks' time? I think it's the 23rd. It's 23rd. That's 23rd. It's going to 22nd. Friday. What day is it? It's Sunday. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. It's Sunday, isn't it? No, it's Saturday today. My head. Wow. Everything's been a bit of a blur. So you got one change. And search results. Let's just Google what W8. What date is it 12 weeks from now? Could work it out in my head, but my brain's not working properly at the moment. So the date 12 weeks from today, Saturday, February the 28th, 2026, is Saturday, May the 22nd. Yeah, so the 22nd. Let's bring that back. Newport Barnstable. Let's choose leaving at February, March, April, May 22nd. Find the tickets. And there we go, the one change. I want time, earlier time than that. 9:42, one change. So ideally, when I last went down, I say down because it's like south, then you're going west of the country. You go south, then you go west, then you go north. It's the southwest of England, but it'd be the north side of the southwest. North, Newport, and all this. One change over here to here. That's nice to me. That's easy. Nice and easy. That's the trip I had last time with a nice, relaxing 47 minutes transfer time. You don't have to rush at all. And if I want to eat something, pop around. If you're going in shops at the station, by the way, they're very expensive. In station prices quite pricey. So if you're hungry but you think you can wait till you get on board, grab a bite to eat on board. That is if you got first class anyway. But if you haven't, by all means, just use what's available, I guess. So Exeter, and then go for all these. I do want to check out the bar in Umberley, but I'm not going to drop myself off there and then walk to Barnstable. I want to get to the apartment as soon as possible. They do say check in anytime after 4 o'clock. Well, it would be just after 3 o'clock by the time I get there. Because 1:30, getting on for 2 o'clock by the time I get the bus from there. Then it'd take about an hour to get there, which would be getting on for 3 o'clock. And there's a cafe there. I could kill up some time dropping in a cafe. Once I get there, and hopefully once I'm sorted with that and it gets towards 4 o'clock. At the moment, though, there's nobody booked in on the week prior to my booking. So it's possible I can ring them up and say I'm early. Is there any chance of going in now? I've looked at details where people have requested that and they've been fine about it. But it probably depends if they're just, if they're still cleaning up and everything from a prior customer. With a bit of luck, it'll be a week already clean, spick and span, waiting for me to come in anyway. So they allow me to come in as and when, once I'm available. There's a phone number on the website to ring, and I've heard they're very amicable and okay about needing help and this and that. Lots of praises about it. They're clean, tidy. I got lucky with the apartment over the last couple of years for the usual apartment I pick, but I don't need everything that's in the other apartment I normally have. Plus, it's nearer than this new apartment. This one I haven't been in before is nearer the shops and everywhere else. That's just makes it more convenient rather than have to walk down the hill and take 11, 12 minutes. About 10 minutes for me, say on the details, 11, 12 minutes. The other apartment, the wash machine, which is also a dryer. That's the usual apartment I book, and Wi-Fi, and 2 bathrooms, king-size beds, and it's like, well, I could go with friends, cut the cost, or if I got lucky, there's somebody who could enjoy the space with me, that's okay. But I don't need 2 bathrooms. But it was just the pricing worked out quite well. It's privately owned, the other one, and so is this one. And the guy who owns the one with the 2 bathrooms actually has in the area a shop that sells surf gear. So he does that on the side, and I've met the person and said I've expressed how nice it is. They give that like a personal touch. There's biscuits and other things by a kettle with a note saying, please help yourself. You go in and there's everything you need. There's even an ironing board in there that they use it for their own family sometimes to have get-togethers. Other than that, they use it as an outlet for the general public. It's really nice. It really is. And the shower is great. Nice power shower in there, and a bath, a separate bathroom, is a proper bathtub. Yeah. But this is ideal. This trip, one changeover. After doing it, I do that a few times, and it just fits in my head so nice. It's chill. It's people at home. I just text them and say, "Oh, just getting on the train," and wait. And I'm at Exeter, waiting for the next train. I'm on the train. I'm in Barnstable. Wait a bit more, and I just text again. Just got on the bus to Westward Ho. They know I'm there. Okay then. Didn't get any trouble. Stuck with maybe cancellations or traffic, whatever. Because you've got to look out for that. Cancellations with trains. And you can get refunds in certain situations. Again, looking at prices, if I go to... Well, the difference is that you get regardless of the price. You know what first class does versus what standard class does. So you see that's just outside the 12-week range, and I have to stop at Bristol Parkway. There's videos if you're curious, if you're doing a trip like this and you have to stop at Bristol Parkway as well. Go on YouTube and cross country. I think Great Western Railway as well Great Western Railway have a tour video of St. David's, Exeter St. David's. Very informative video. And there's a very informative video for the Bristol Parkway on YouTube as well. Just YouTube it, you'll find a number of videos. It's very easy. What was I doing? We go to click this, and there's different types of advanced, single, first class, or any day, single. Sorry, any time of day. Has to be that day, but it would be any time of that day. I want to do this just in case one train gets cancelled and I can get the next one, or there's a delay for me getting there, I can just get the next one. So it's any time of day for those tickets. Pricey though, relatively, 107. Last time I booked this, it was £86. It's probably going to be that when the 12-week bracket comes in. It'd be higher than that a little bit because it's been, inflation makes everything go up and so on. So if view the ticket conditions with first class with any time. Again, if I miss one, I can get on the next one. It has to be that day for the ticket. Otherwise, you have to buy another ticket or get it refunded or whatever. Anytime, single, flexible ticket with no time restrictions on when you can travel. Validity, your journey must be on the date specified. Booking can be booked in advance or purchased on the day of travel. You can get a ticket at the day. Once you're there, I like to book way in advance. Refunds, if you decide not to use the tickets to make all or part of your intended journey, you can then apply for a refund within 28 days of the expiry of the ticket. An admin fee will apply, and the amount of the refund will take into account any use you have made of the ticket, and in some circumstances, no refund will be paid. They know what you use because the tickets get scanned anyway, and it's recorded what location they get scanned at. Amending your booking, you can change the time of your journey without changing the tickets. If you wish to change your date of travel or class of ticket, you will need to buy. You go on a different day and a different class of ticket. You need to buy a new ticket, clearly, obviously, and apply for a refund of your current ticket. Discounts, normal, rail card, and child discounts available. Right, so if you've got a rail card, which I don't, you're entitled for only seniors that have the rail card, or disabled persons, and Her Majesty's Forces rail card, secure discounts, and first class, and subject to restriction, the two together rail card. Break a journey. You may start, break, and resume or end your journey at any intermediate station along the route of travel, because they go hourly more or less anyway. You just wait for the next one. If you got talking to somebody, oh, look at the time, oh, my train, don't worry about it, get the next one. This is why I buy this, because I can sometimes get the right person to talk to, and I'll end up being like that. Accessibility, view information about wheelchair spaces and accessibility on board your train. here, National Rail, you can view it at that link. Find how to book travel assistance here. They're very helpful. You can get the train staff to assist you with if you've got heavy luggage. They put a ramp down for you to get on board and off board. Sometimes the trains are a little bit, quite a step upwards from the platform, or downwards. If you're getting off the train, you get assistant anyway. 107 is a bit steep at the moment, but I'm waiting for that break with 12-week bracket. So waiting for that. So advanced single first class, this is different rules again. Advanced single first class, non-refundable ticket, only valid for the date, time and train specified. You can't get on a different train, you can't change it to on a different date. It's not refundable, so it's a bit more restrictive. So this is what you're covering yourself with a more expensive ticket. You must travel on the date, time and train specified. You may not start, break and resume or end your journey at any intermediate station. Quite is the exact opposite to the other option, except to change from or to or from connecting trains as shown on the tickets or other travel itinerary. Booking can be booked up to and including the day of travel, subject to availability. No refunds. Amending your booking. Yeah, you can amend the tickets. Can be changed up until the time of departure, subject to the payment up to £10 per ticket per person and any difference in fares. Yeah, makes sense. Yada yada. Yeah. Code W10. If you got W10 on your ticket, that's what that means. If you got FDS, that's what that means for the anytime first class. This to cover myself would be what I'm doing. Otherwise, if I was to rough it, I'd do that. If I go first class, I'd do that. So I'd make sure any day single, any time of day would be more ideal, just in case. You never know, it might be a hold up somewhere. Coming back, I'll just rough it. Coming back, I'll do that. I don't want to be doing that though. I don't fancy that because it has to be that train. Not the next one. You can't do it for the next one. That's quite restrictive. Yep. So at the moment, it's this bus replacement going to Bristol Parkway, which it doesn't even, the same trip for the same destination then, from Newport to Barnstable, ends up with, of course we've seen the 2 changeovers, but it doesn't go to Bristol Parkway on the single change either. It goes to Bristol Temple Meads in Bristol instead. Thanks for watching. Take care. This is helped some people out a bit more information on what you can do with tickets. And if you're booking now for a date perhaps like 29th, just wait another week or so and you'll get these cheaper tickets coming in and maybe an easier trip. Maybe you're somebody who you like the idea of changing over because you want to see more going down if you've got the time and energy to do it. For me, I'm booked in an apartment. I want to get there early enough to utilize all of the time that I got to get there, which will be from the 29th of May to the 5th of June. I could come back on a Saturday, but I won't be in an apartment. There will be a room booked somewhere instead. Depends what happens, and at the moment this is what it's doing with the bus replacement and going to Bristol Parkway. But again, within that 12-week bracket, it ends up doing this thing where you don't even touch Bristol Parkway. Doesn't even go there. Interesting how it's swapping and changing different things to alleviate, because there's lots of people using it, so it's to alleviate transport here and there, alleviate trains being crowded, people missing things and so on. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll look forward to doing the next video. Cheers, bye.